Samsung's S series have always been the phones to beat, at least in the first half of each year. Sony's launches at this time have not been noteworthy. But this time, Sony's gone for a complete overhaul and seem to have a real contender on their hands. So what are the differences between these two? Well, let's find out in today's video. Hey guys, my name's Ash, you're watching C4E Tech. Here's a card to our latest giveaway. I'll also leave a link in the description below. And while you're down there, click that bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our daily content. Flagships in 2018 are all about curved glass and metal frames. On the S9 we have the curved glass plate to the back and the infinity display to the front, all held together by the metal trim that runs around the device. Coming to the XZ2, we see that Sony too has opted for fluid curved lines, with the back of the device being crafted out of 3D curved glass for a better in-hand feel. Sony's placement of the flash followed by the camera and the fingerprint sensor is quite unusual. Overall, Sony stepped up big time here. As good as both these phones look, their glass backs mean they are quite a bit slippery. Now moving on to the front of the phones, we have a 5.8-inch Super AMOLED QuadHD Plus display on the Galaxy S9. This is an 18.5 by 9 panel with an insanely high pixel density of nearly 570 ppi. Samsung calls it the infinity display for curved edges as well as the rounded corners, and it's an absolutely gorgeous screen. On the Sony side of things, we have a 5.7-inch Full HD Plus display. It's not just an HDR capable panel but also features Sony's tri-luminous display tech as well as X-Reality engine, which claims to upscale standard footage to near HDR levels. The XZ2 has slightly bigger bezels to the top and bottom when compared to the S9. This is in part due to the fact that Sony fitted the XZ2 with two front-firing stereo speakers for a great media experience. Along with that, there is the dynamic vibration system, which gives haptic feedback to whatever is going on screen, kinda like the PS4 DualShock controllers. The S9 too has support for stereo speakers, so watching movies is gonna be a treat on both these devices. Just note that the S9 Plus or the S9 is gonna give you a higher resolution display. Now moving on to the internals, we have the Snapdragon 845 running underneath both these devices. The S9 though has a variant with Exynos 9810 octa for certain markets. The Snapdragon 845 as well as the Exynos 9810 are top of the line chips from Qualcomm and Samsung respectively. So no matter which one you get, the performance should be top notch. Both these devices also have 4 gigs of RAM as well as 64 gigs of onboard storage. We've heard rumors of a 6 gig RAM variant of the XZ2. Well, let's see which markets end up getting what. Speaking of memory, both phones feature a micro SD card slot in case you want room for expansion. The headphone jack, well, the S9 is the only one to offer it because Sony's kinda axed it on the XZ2. Anyway, moving on, as far as battery goes, here the XZ2 has the larger, higher capacity battery, 3180 mAh compared to 3000 mAh. Both phones support quick charge as well as wireless charging. Now, let's move on to cameras. Both these devices sport a single rear camera, but don't just count them out yet. They both have tricks up their sleeve. The S9 has a mechanized aperture ring that can go from f2.4 to f1.5 for nailing those low light shots. Other than that, this is a 12 megapixel sensor with OIS and 1.4 micron sized pixels. When it comes to video, the S9 can capture 4K at 60 fps as well as super slow-mo 960 fps video at 720p. On the flip side, we have the 19 megapixel Exynos sensor from Sony with a pixel size of 1.22 microns. This camera is capable of 4K HDR video and can even capture 960 fps slow motion at 1080p. But there is a but. Just when you thought Sony's camera was ahead, here are a few cons. It lacks optical image stabilization. Yes, Sony has included 5-axis EIS of sorts, but that's capped at 1080p 30 fps, which is a bummer in 2018. Now, talking about software, here's where things get really interesting. Samsung has integrated a sort of Animoji-like feature that they're calling ARmoji into the S9. On the Sony side of things, we have a 5 megapixel front camera that is capable of taking full 3D avatars of objects as well as faces. Both the cameras are really interesting, especially with their diverse feature sets, and I can't wait to deep dive into them when we get our hands on the phones themselves. For now, here's a card to our S9 video where we talk a little bit more about the camera features, and well, another card to the XZ2 video. Moving on, let's talk software. The S9 runs on Samsung Experience built on top of Android Oreo. but as is the norm, comes with a bucket load of features. We have edge functions, Samsung Pay, Bixby, as well as a host of biometric locks. Samsung has Face Unlock as well as an iris scanner on the S9. Moving across to the XZ2, it too runs on Android 8 with Sony's custom UI on top. Both are IP68 water and dust resistant. So well, with that, let's now talk price. We don't have the Indian or even US prices for now for the Xperia XZ2 as well, but in Europe the S9 is priced at 849 euros while the XZ2 is priced at 799. So the XZ2 should launch 3 to 5,000 rupees cheaper than the S9 at least when it arrives in India. Once we do get the chance to test these phones out in depth, we try to do a full in-depth comparison between them. But for now, do tell us what you guys think about these two phones in the comments below. Which of them are you leaning towards? Team Samsung or Team Sony? So that's it for this video. Oh yeah, let us know via a comment. So that's it for this video. If you hated it, you know what to do. But if you did like it, give it a thumbs up, get subscribed, click on that bell icon to get notified every time we upload something new on C4E Tech. So thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this here is Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.